It's 4 o'clock in Los Angeles. It's 6 o'clock in Chicago. And it's 7 p.m. in Philadelphia. Hello, everybody. I'm Mad Dog DeCipio. This is America's Popcast. What's the buzz? Tonight we're going to take kind of a deep dive, but not too deep, because it's Tuesday and it's our Friday, and I don't want to really work that hard tonight. So we're going to take a moderate dive into, are we under surveillance? And to join me in this muck and mire, my man about town, the Hollywood fashion plate himself, Big Cal Yater. Call me Callum. How are you, Cal?
I'm all right. It was just a pretty busy day today.
What were you doing? Like films, firing people on set? What were you doing today?
Oh, I was working, and it took me 3 hours to run these panels because they wanted like 70, 30-foot long panels. And
Oh,
I
that's
actually,
nice. That sounds like fun.
I actually fell and hit the back of my head because
Oh,
I was
God.
trying to. I guess I lifted wrong and I didn't notice where I was stepping.
Yeah,
And
that'll happen.
yeah, I'm pretty bruised up.
Well, look, brother, I'm gonna tell you something. I know what it's like to work in that kind of environment because I did get hurt, and that's why I'm on disability now. I actually got hurt at work many, many years ago. Still doing my radio show too, by the way. But I was working a overnight job at a packaging plant and doing my radio shows during the day. And I tell you what, I got banged up pretty good to the point where I had to have surgery on my back. So I feel for you, brother.
Yeah,
I feel for you. I really do.
I'm honestly surprised I have use of my hands still.
Yeah. Well, I got news for you. Be thankful that you do. Because you're going to need them. That's your bread and butter. Your hands. You got to take care of your hands and your feet. Those are the two things you absolutely got to spend time on. Your hands and your feet. Because if either one of those go, you're screwed. Cal, tonight, my friend, we are going to do Are We Under Surveillance? The Eye in the Sky and Apple Pie and all things happy and Orwellian. So let me ask you a question right off the top. Right off the top. What do you think? Are we under surveillance?
Yeah, we're always under surveillance. Facebook keeps track of what you like, what you're influenced by. Your
Hmm.
cell phones listen to you. That way they can, you ever mention something and then you get an ad for it like 2 seconds later. Your
Yeah,
smart,
predictive programming.
yeah, your smart TVs are listening to you.
Sure.
Like there's really no escaping it.
Well, and it's done. I think it's done with purposeful intent for several reasons. Some of the reasons may surprise you. You're going to hear tonight. Um, it's never been a secret that we are under some sort of surveillance, some sort of watch. That's never been a secret. What comes as a surprise in the last 10 years or so is the openness with which the government is talking about it. They've never talked about it with this degree of openness and candor as if they want you to accept it. And believe it or not, I know it's going to rock your socks, folks, but believe it or not, most people are okay with being surveilled. I can't make that up, and you're going to hear it tonight.
It can take a single generation a single generation to brainwash an entire population into being okay
Yeah.
with something like that.
And that generation was the generation below me. In fact, it's your generation, Big Cal.
I
Your
hate my,
generation. Yeah,
I hate
no,
my generation.
your generation basically threw their hands up in the air and said, "We quit. We just want to, play our games, go on our TikTok, check out our Instagram, fuck around on Facebook, but we don't care about anything else. and I don't want to. I don't want to know about that, and I don't know. I just do what you got to do. Just leave my social media alone. And guess what? They listened to that because that's exactly what they're doing. They being the powers that be. They're doing exactly what you want them to. They are. They absolutely are. They're doing exactly what you want them to.
I mean,
I'm gonna tell you,
personally, I wouldn't mind, somebody dropping like an EMP on us, and then we'll have to learn skills that have been forgotten. Like
you know what? It's funny to hear a young person say that. I'm
yeah,
glad you said that. Explain. And I want to tell you from the old fart standpoint, but let's hear the young buck.
So I was taught how to plant seeds in school. I was taught how to work on, auto detailing in school. I was taught how to make little rockets and launch them basically up, as high as I can get them.
Yeah.
And they don't teach any of that anymore. There's no more home economics. You're not taught any skills in school. You go to school to get indoctrinated. That's it.
You are absolutely. I want you to hear what he said, folks. Did you hear what he said? Because he's 1,000% right. We got somebody in our chat tonight. I want to know something good. Yeah. What? Okay. They're saying. I want to say this. Is this? Yes. This is live. We are live, my friend. Axis 16V30, whatever the fuck that means. Welcome to the show. I have no idea what Axis 16V30 is. 30 is.
Thank you for listening.
But thanks for being here. Yes, this is live. Absolutely. We are talking about surveillance. Are we under surveillance? You bet your sweet ass we're under surveillance. Here's what they said. And I asked these questions. All right. I had to go and I did something that I don't do a lot. All right. I went on to my Google Gemini and I said, hey, Gemini, are we under surveillance? And here's what Gemini said. I want to give you the AI answer. And by the way, AI is part of the problem. But I think, and you're going to think I'm nuts when I say this, AI is part of the problem, but I think AI is going to end up being the solution. It's the AI name. There you go. We're just talking about AI, brother. Hot damn. I like this guy already. Hang out with us for a little bit. You might be entertained and amused and happy that you joined. So I said, hey, Gemini, are we under surveillance? And here's what Gemini says. Short answer, yes. Partially, unevenly, and not in a single all-seeing big brother kind of way. But if you're looking for a more honest answer, here you go. All right, what's happening? As a species, we live inside layers of surveillance. Big cow, remember that term because you're going to be tested on it.
Layers of surveillance?
Layers of surveillance. Mostly driven by technology and incentives rather than a unified plan, excuse me. And I understand that. When they talk about technology and incentives, remember what we're talking about. What has more incentive now to create than anything else on planet Earth? What has more incentive?
AI.
You're exactly. Why? Because you don't have to think.
AI
the incentive is for government to have AI answer everything, the be all end all. You won't have to use your brain anymore. Okay? That's why it's rare that I even did something like this. Okay? Understand something. It's really important you understand this. There are people I know in 2026 who are completely and utterly chained to AI. They are chained to ChatGPT. They're chained to Google Gemini. They're chained to Grok and other AI engines like that. Okay? But remember what we said last night on the show. AI's not a machine, folks. It's not a machine. It's a code. AI is a way of talking to another computer. It's a language. That's what AI is. It's a language. But who invented the language? Humanity did. Here's the problem, Big Cal. Humanity doesn't, AI doesn't need humanity now because AI has learned how to think for itself. That's a scary thought. And if you don't believe that, try it sometime. Do yourself a little experiment. I got this man. He's got some questions over here, brother. Neuralink, absolutely. Neuralink. There you go. You don't see this guy?
Unified natural surveillance.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to hear about this tonight.
And this guy knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, he does, because I'm going to tell you something. I have not 30 minutes ago uploaded a video you're going to see tonight where it talks about unified natural surveillance. Okay? Understand something. As much as you may want to take a big dump on this whole surveillance idea, I'm looking at it because that's how my mind works. I'm looking at it from a different standpoint. The standpoint of what can we get out of this? It's not, oh, what is surveillance going to do to us? The question I ask is, how can we utilize it for our benefit rather than for what the proverbial they want? All right? But understand something, and it's really important. It's really, really critical that you understand this. In order for us to get the answer to the question I just asked, we have to be willing to speak and communicate and talk to each other and talk to them. The them being the higher power, the government, those that would be king, so to speak. Okay, understand this. There's no single answer to are we under surveillance. The short answer, of course, is yeah, and we've been under surveillance for a long time. Different, but as Gemini told me, on different layers of surveillance, and I like that. And I like the term that the AI used, layers of surveillance, because there's no one catch-all. It's not a one catch-all. There is corporate surveillance, the biggest layer of surveillance. Believe it or not governmental surveillance, corporate surveillance. You're being spied on by the products you buy.
And it's, it helps feed the algorithms.
Hey, hello.
Everything you buy online,
There you go. No, go ahead. Keep going. I'm not going to stop you.
Okay. But yeah, everything you buy online, it just feeds the algorithm. It puts you in your echo chambers of what you want to hear. So you don't really hear differentiating views and opinions. It's not just them watching you. They're watching.
I am going to prove in real time, folks, that what Big Cal just said is 1,000% accurate. Okay. Listen to this one, Big Cal. Corporate surveillance is the biggest layer of surveillance. Phones, apps, browsers, smart TVs, cars, wearables, even the clothing that you wear can spy on you. You don't know this. You're going to find out something now that you may not even know. You're wearing a microchip and don't even know it. Okay? They're being planted in your clothing. That's not from me. That's from Google Gemini. And that's straight up. Location data. search history on your browser, clicks. Remember the old clickbait?
Yep.
That's the biggest form of surveillance online, clickbait. Because once you click, they've got your IP address, they know where you live, they know your name, everything's that clickbait, that IP address is more powerful. And I'm like, listen, I want you to check me out if you think I'm crazy. That clickbait is more powerful. That IP address is so potent to clickbait, it's more powerful than your social security number. Listen to what I'm telling you. And most often, the advertisements, the behavioral prediction, and the profitability of surveillance is what keeps the surveillance wheel spinning. Ads, marketing, predictive programming. Your television knows what you're going to watch before you watch it. Did you know that?
Oh, definitely.
Do you know your TV, your smart TV is probably smarter than you?
Yeah, I'm not.
Go ahead, Cal. Tell them. Cal, tell these people that Mad Dog is not a fucking lunatic. Well, don't tell them
Mad
that.
Dog is not a fucking lunatic.
They don't believe you because I am a fucking lunatic. I think I ended up with the name Mad Dog.
He's absolutely right. Everything that you purchase, everything that you view, everything that you use is watching you. There's almost, I hate to be pessimistic, but there's almost no way to defeat it. Like,
tell me the legal paper that says, hey, we'll put a microchip on your shirt and to spy on you. Brother, it's called eminent domain. Your manufacturers, your clothing manufacturers, your coffee pot makers, your cable box producers, people who do this kind of stuff, they don't need shit from you. They don't need you to sign a paper. It's eminent domain. When you buy something, you accept all the use and terms of that product. And you know how I know? Because we on this program, on this show, we have a term. I'm going to get it for you right now. It's called, this is for real. It is called, here we go, hot damn. This is our privacy policy, terms and use, third-party platforms and services, all this stuff. We don't have to tell you shit about any of that. Okay? I do. But when you buy something from the store, just turn it over and read the terms and conditions of purchase. When you buy, do you know that when you buy a concert ticket, you are entering into a legally binding contract, not with the performer, with the ticket company. You're entering into a legally binding contract when you buy a ticket to a show. Read it. Get a fat, a nice big fat magnifying glass, because you're going to need one, because the fine print is so small. It's like microscopic almost. You need like a microscope, not even a magnifying glass. But the print on the back of a ticket, Cal, is so small, you literally need a magnifier to read it.
I used to have a bunch of concert tickets that I hoarded, and
read them.
I must have missed them.
Read them. If you can find go online, Google it. What's on the back of a concert ticket? Read it. It will blow you away. I like this guy, Axis. Brother, you can join us anytime you want.
Yeah, we should
He
bring him on.
says, I never learned anything of that. Well, brother, you're here. Call me Professor Mad Dog because I'm here to educate, smarten you up like we used to say in the wrestling business. I'm here to smarten your ass up.
Well, to answer his question, when you're born, aren't you born with like $40,000 in debt from the get-go?
Yeah. Right from the jump.
Yeah, that sounds like the contract of being born. You get a social security number and a bunch of debt.
Yeah, ain't that some shit? ain't that something, Cal? Oh, man. Here you go. You're going to love this one. You're going to love this one. So I said, hey, Google Gemini, are we under surveillance? I said, yeah, short answer, yeah, but there's some other stuff you need. All right, so corporate surveillance was the first one, and we went through that. State surveillance. It's real, but it's uneven. It's the word they use is unmetered. And I'll explain this to you. Okay. Governments monitor communications, borders, financial flows. They know how much you're spending. They know what you're buying. They know what you're watching on TV. They know how much money you spend for clothing, or in Cal's case, how much he's not spending for haircuts, or how much he's spending for the 12 hats that he's got hanging on the wall behind.
I've got like 20 of them.
20 hats, excuse me. Okay. See, the government knows that. I said 12. But here's the thing, and it's really important. Everything I just is absolutely spot on. They know what you're watching, what you're spending. They keep track of your financial ebb and flow. They know what's in your bank account. If you get a question, say, well, how much money's in your bank account? If you tell them the wrong amount, guess what?
They're coming after you.
They'll know it before you answer. You can't make this shit up, Cal. I wish we could. But it's too bizarre. Like what are they said? The truth is always stranger than fiction. Brother, you don't know how true that is. The other thing.
More people need to drop the credit cards, drop the debit cards.
Here you go.
Hoard cash.
Keep talking. Preach it, preacher.
Yeah, hoard cash. No, you don't want any paper trails. Like our government will reap every cent off of you that they possibly can, up to breathing if they could.
Guess what? That doesn't work anymore. You know why? Because money is paper, and paper has zero intrinsic value. The money that you have in your pocket, in your bank account, the money that you spend on whatever you spend it on, that money has zero value. You could wallpaper your house with it. It means nothing. In fact, if you don't believe that, go and Google the man who literally wallpapered his house with money, because it has zero value. What has value behind that paper is mineral, silver, gold, zinc, copper. That's what makes your money worth something. Because when the shit hits the fan, having paper money in your pocket's not going to do shit for you.
Oh, bullion will always have its value.
Well, if you have, brother, if you got a handful of gold coins in your pocket, or some, whatever, quarters, nickels, dimes. Okay, I want you to think about something too. I want you to think about something. The United States is decreasing manufacture of coins. The penny is dead. There's no more pennies being made. When you go into a store, it's going to ask you to round up or round down. Mostly it's going to ask you to round up. Why? Because they're going to make more money off you for the same item that you could pay $1.50 for. Now you're going to pay $2 for it.
What?
Because there's no change. There's no change. I did it the other day. I went to the store. I spent $11.48. Would you like to round up? This machine does not give change. Yeah, I'll round up $12. Guess what? They made an extra 52 cents on me. From $11.48 to $12.
Yeah, I mean, you are right, and I do have a little bit of silver that I've collected. You know, I've got about 1.5 ounces of silver that I've been
Hold on to it.
Oh, definitely.
Hold on to
It shot up to like $100-something an ounce.
Brother, I remember back in the 1970s when silver hit $1,300 an ounce for silver. I know you go check it if you think I'm bullshitting. $1,300 an ounce in 1977 for silver. Okay.
You said $13 an ounce?
$1,300.
$1,300.
$1,300 an ounce for silver. Silver was pulling in more than gold. And there were two brothers called the Hunt brothers from Texas that ended up becoming multi-quadrillionaires, and they made so much fucking money from hoarding silver. They literally, two brothers from Texas, literally pushed the price of silver from $28 an ounce to almost $1,400. $1,387 is what it was for an ounce, for 1 ounce of silver.
That's insane.
That's why you can't find coin now that's made with silver. It's all alloy, copper alloy, the zinc alloy, tin, 25-cent pieces, quarters, nickels, dimes. Guess what they're made out of? They're made out of aluminum. It's junk. It's aluminum, scrap metal.
So it's false currency.
Well, it's the only currency that you have. Here's the thing. Here's the important part of this. The second step. Remember, there's layers here. We're talking about layers of surveillance. Okay, so we talked about, let's talk about the size. The scale and intensity depend heavily upon the country and the political climate in that country. Now, why is that important? You look at the United States, which is fairly stable still. Not for long, though. Fairly stable still. But go to the Ukraine, the Russia, the Middle East. The Middle East, dirt is worth more than their currency. I'm not even shitting you. Dirt is worth more than their currency.
I have seen where in like the UAE, there's like abandoned supercars because they just have so much money.
So, listen to this. It doesn't matter. I don't care. My family is incredibly more rich than any other family alive. They own everything that you can see. So I just asking people, well, you know what? If that is in fact the case, which I'm calling bullshit on, people who have money don't tell other people they have money. You know why? Because the people who don't have money want the money you have, motherfucker. That's what's going on here. I got to call bullshit on my friend Axis. I you know what, though? I want you here because I like this conversation. In my country, people give me money for free. So you're either Middle Eastern, which my guess is that you're Middle Eastern. And if you do have money, You're one of the very few because the money in your country ain't worth shit, bro. You know, ain't worth shit. And you know it. You know I'm not lying, man. Your money's not worth squat. It's the truth. It's the truth. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but it's the truth. Big Cal.
Yes, sir.
Let us talk about scale and size and scope, and what does that mean in terms of surveillance?
Well, I mean, the scale of the surveillance, we've already covered mostly like everything is, everything like the webcam I'm using is watching me, all
Yeah.
your electronics. Like it's really hard for me to wrap my head around, to be honest.
Here's the thing, though. I've been doing this. I have, in one form or another, I have been in front of a camera and a microphone since I was 17 years old. Okay? And this is the truth. I have been in front of a camera and or microphone since I was 17. I became a professional disc jockey legally when I turned 18. But I was making money when I was 16, 17 as a radio performer because my voice was deeper than my age. And people didn't know how old I was. I have the same voice now I did when I was 16. That's the truth. That's the truth. My voice got to a certain point, and that's how it stayed. Understand, though, that if you allow fear of someone listening to you, watching you, surveilling you, if you let that fear dictate you, you already gave up your hand. Here's my thought on this entire thing. I don't give a shit.
Something to watch.
Well, here's the thing. I don't give a shit. I've done it on the show. I knew there were certain nights on this program right here when I knew. You could ask Amelia. Which Amelia, if you're watching, how you doing, kid? She's being a grandmom now. So and God bless her. God bless her. And God bless your little grandbaby. But Amelia and I, and she'll tell you, I fear nothing. Nothing. I don't fear saying anything. You know why? Because I know they're out there watching and listening. And I want them to watch and I want them to listen. Hey, every time you watch, every time you listen, my ratings go up. You're helping me. They don't know that. You're helping me, man. You know? So keep on listening, keep on watching. When guys like Axis come in here, and I like Axis, I don't know him, but I like him. But he's probably. Oh, here's Amelia is there. Here she is. Amelia Chapman, Texas girl. There she is. I'm either fearless or I'm stupid, depending on how you want to look at it. Here's the thing. Do I care? Here's what I care about. I care that the message gets out. I've done my job if the message gets out. How the government chooses to spin my words is on them. I'm not ever going to tell anybody what to say, what to think, how to do it. I'll never do that. I will never do that. You know? It's not what I do. What I do is I put the truth out there. If you accept the truth that is out there that I can prove, and I'll never say anything on this program that I can't prove. And I have proven every single time and time again, that it's not BS. If I tell you something, I researched it, I checked it, I fact-checked it, and I fact-checked it again. And if it's on the show, it's been through the mill. It's been through the Angelo strainer, because I strain all the bullshit out and I keep the 3 or 4 nuggets that are for real. That's just the way it is. So Cal, do you have any concerns? Let's talk about this. Do you have any concerns about surveillance?
Oh, of course.
Let me ask you a question. Now let's forget our topic list for a minute. Let's like talk a little bit. What is your biggest concern regarding the perceived elevated state of surveillance?
Well, I mean, it just shows that, not just our country, but most of the governments of the world don't trust their own people. If you feel like you have to constantly watch them and
wait a minute. You just opened up Pandora's box.
I have a habit of doing that.
Yeah, you do. I'm glad you did. Not only, folks, is Cal on the money. Listen to me. Cal knows his shit. He's a savant. He's like a savant, this guy, okay? But let me tell you what he just did. He just surmised the surveillance state in one sentence. They don't trust. That's the key phrase that Cal just uttered. They don't trust. Here's the thing, though. It's not only, Cal, that they don't trust their own people. They don't trust other governments. There's not a government on this planet, of the thousands of governments that there are, there's not a government on this planet that trusts one another. That's why they're constantly throwing shit at one another. Who's going to be the first one, Cal, to say something? Donald Trump, I'll give you a perfect example. Donald Trump. I used to like you, Donald, Mr. President. I used to like you. Now I think you're a spineless, ballless asshole who's more talk than walk. Or I should say more walk than talk, I should say. Here's the problem with Donald Trump. He tells these countries, fuck around and find out. Fuck around and find out. Guess what? They fucked around. They ain't found out yet. They ain't found out yet.
Well, he got Maduro.
Because he's got no cojones. They know what they're doing. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? But there's no government that can stop me, not even you. What do I think about that? I think that you're a spineless, big mouth who has absolutely no balls. If you had any balls, you might come on the show. I'm inviting you, by the way. And use your real name and your real face. But I don't think you got it. I don't think you got the cajones, bro. Okay, what do you think about that?
I want to know where this guy came from. Like, how did he find,
I'll fuck you around so you'll, come on. Go ahead. There you go. There you go. There's always got to be a smart ass. There's always got to be one. We got to put him in timeout. There you go. Got to put him in timeout. He's done.
Yeah, it's a shame. People don't want to grow up.
I thought there was going to be somebody that had a set of cajones, but he's got nothing. He's got Bugats is what he's got. But again, surveillance is a matter of how much do you fear and why do you fear? Are we under surveillance or what? That's the question. Let's take a look at this. I want you guys to watch this. Check this out.
When you arrive in the United States in a lot of airports these days, it's not just a passport agent that looks at your passport. There's a camera that can take your picture to confirm your identity. Every year, hundreds of millions of people travel in and out of the United States. In 2021, U.S. Customs and Border Protection rolled out a biometric program at airports aimed at automating the entry-exit process.
What the photo does, we take images of known persons, people that have either submitted passport photos. So we're doing a match. We take the live photo and compare it to a photo that we already have of the individual.
This is like facial recognition technology.
We call it comparison because when people hear facial recognition, they automatically orient to surveillance.
Sure.
What we do is very distinct from surveillance. It's to enhance security. We've always been getting the biographic data for years. Now we're biometrically confirming that data. Where we're really working diligently, and kind of the final frontier for us is getting it up and running in the vehicle environment at our land border ports of entry. Certainly our southwest border, we can't let bad people and bad things into the country.
All right, show me your techno car.
All right.
And so you're testing out how the road can talk to the car and the car can talk to the road.
That's exactly right. So every time we hear one of those, that's a SPAT message. It gives us some kind of indication of what's going on at intersections and any place we have roadside units. And so in the future, whether it's through smartwatches, phones, any kind of application, they can all eventually talk to each other as this technology gets expanded. So we were just transmitted a green light. This is another car was approaching. Again, the green light.
Here's a dumb question, but why do we want to do this?
We want to do it again just to enhance vehicular and pedestrian safety.
Do you think this is like what the world's going to look like?
Can somebody explain what that means to me? Vehicular production, vehicular production intake. What the fuck does that even mean, Cal?
I don't know. I'm fucking confused.
Thank you.
Like in 5 years?
For better or for worse, I think this is kind of an inevitable direction of where everything is going.
And you know what? Here's the thing, though. I think they're right. It probably, for better or worse, that's where it's going. Here's the thing, and I love having, people in the chat room, and I love having, good conversation like this. But when a guy becomes a real asshole, and wants to show his ass in front of people, you know what? Go away. I thought you were going to be, a good conversationalist. You started off nice, and then you had to show that you were a jerk off. Okay, that's fine, but you're not going to do it here, brother. You're not going to do it here. Okay, and it's just that simple.
Since you banned them, they can't even view us anymore, right?
Yeah, no, he's banned. He's done.
Okay. He
is on the ban list. Here's the thing: surveillance by government. What does it really mean? All right. This is the most real and documented type of surveillance, which is good for you. It's good for you. Why is it good for you? Because the government loves to keep paper trails. That's what the government does better than anything. They keep data. They keep anytime you have data, I don't care if it's encrypted, unencrypted. I don't care if it's all in megabytes or terabytes. There's gonna be, listen to what I'm saying. There's gonna be a paper trail to validate it, because if your server goes down and you lose all of your encrypted data, you still got the good old school hard copy paper, right?
Right.
So here's what the government said. The most real kind of surveillance that people today get worried about is this government surveillance. All right, well, again, like I just said, if you worry about it, then you obviously have something to hide. I have nothing to hide. The fact that I'm here in front of a camera, in front of a microphone, the fact that I'm here, which should tell you that we have nothing to hide. All right. But
well, you know what this says? This all the surveillance basically says that this is the Truman Show and we're all Truman.
And I'm okay with that. I always wanted to be a reality star. You have to joke about it. You know why? Because if you don't, you'll drive yourself fucking nuts. All right. So what does it look like? What does government surveillance look like, Cal? So here's what it looks like. The biggest, and it's the number one thing, and you can thank George W. Bush for this. The number one thing is monitoring the phone metadatabase, phone surveillance, telephones. Okay. Who called who? When did they call? And it has usually nothing to do with the content of the conversation or what you're talking about. You could be talking about moving, $100,000 worth of, stolen cash. They don't give a shit. They don't care what you talk about. They want to know who talked to who.
I'm glad that you brought up Bush. Remember the Patriot Act?
Yeah, that's your surveillance right there.
Yeah, like that's
the Patriot Act, Brother Cal, is why we're talking about this shit tonight. That's why we're talking about it. In fact, hello. I think we're going to talk about it right here, as a matter of fact. Phone monitoring is the number one action that the government is dealing in right now. Phones. Why? Because even homeless people have cell phones. Don't ask me how, but they do. And it's for real. I'm not even playing around either. That's for real.
Oh, I can tell you exactly how.
Internet traffic analysis. CCTV cameras in public spaces. We talked about that last night. And certain places in New Jersey still have closed circuit. Private companies can do that. But the state of New Jersey no longer has traffic cameras. The court ruled them unconstitutional because they're not 100% accurate. Why?
But isn't Chris Christie your governor, though?
No, oh my God, where you been?
Under a rock, obviously.
No. Our governor that presided over the camera case was Governor Phil Murphy, who just left on Sunday, like 2 days ago. His term was up. We have a female governor now. Her name is Mikey Sherrill. She's the new governor of New Jersey. She's not the first woman governor of this state. By the way, we were the first state in the country to have a female governor. Her name was Christy Todd Whitman. And she was, after she became governor, she was appointed to head the Environmental Protection Agency by, who was the president? By George Bush Sr., George Herbert Walker Bush. George W.'s late father, God rest his soul. Intelligence agents. Here you go, Cal. I'm proving what I said. Again, folks, I'm not going to say it if I can't prove it. Proving what I said. Intelligence agencies tracking other governments and foreign entities in the way of threats or other counter surveillance. Because if you're watching me, I got to be watching you, because that's what surveillance is. That's how it works. If you're going to spy on my country, well, then I got to spy on you, right, Cal?
Right.
There you go. Why does it exist? Here's the biggest reason. The biggest reason, and I understand this now. 20 years ago, I would not have understood this. The biggest reason surveillance exists in the world, number one, the national security and sovereignty. Keeping what I'm saying here. The national security and sovereignty of nations. If you don't have that, then you've got countries run amok. Look at what's happening in the Middle East. Iran, Iraq, Israel, Lebanon. Look what's happening.
Well, the Crusades never ended.
Off the charts. Off the charts. Law enforcement is the second major reason, number 2. And the third, and third but not the least, believe me, the third but not the least, counter-terrorism intelligence. If you use your surveillance to get a hold of those people who would try to do you harm, think about what it does for you. Think about what that little leg up does for you.
Keeps you safe.
Here you go. That's it. That's it. One sentence.
Take out your enemies.
You know? But that's the that's the reason. It is what it is, you know? Understand. We could talk about this. There's a lot we could talk about, but that was the gist of it. And that's you realize we just went through like 5 pages. Wow.
In that short a time?
Yeah, in that short a time, 5 pages. Which I'm happy we did. Cal, what do we got next week? What are we doing next week, Big Cal?
Well, I am not exactly sure. What are we doing?
Well, you should be, by God. You're the co-host and producer of the damn show. What we're doing next week, folks, is crisis actors and controlled intelligence. AI as a controlled intelligence mechanism.
Yes, I wasn't sure if that was next week or the week after.
No. Next week. Yeah. So what we're doing, we're going to talk about crisis actors. And now, again, you got to give the government kudos. The government has acknowledged that they do use crisis actors. How do they use them? Why do they use them?
I mean, they pay them to go and protest even when they don't even know what the fuck they're protesting about.
No. That's a whole different animal. That's the paid protester. We got a guy coming on who's going to talk about that. Because this is a guy that used to be in charge of it. Yeah. You're going to hear from him on this show. But crisis actors are a whole different, they're a different ball game than the paid protesters. The paid protesters were people like Antifa, Black Lives Matter. Oh God, what was the other one? Oh shit.
Well, the paid protesters are basically, I'm going to compare them to, like when you got a movie or a TV show and you got the background actors.
Yeah, extras.
Basically the same. But, whenever you got the other guys, like the actual crisis actors, they're brought up in neighborhoods and go to schools separated from, the regular citizens like you and I. And
I know you're going to hear from them next week.
That's wow.
You're going to hear from them next week. I have a video I'm going to show next week. I'll give you a little heads up. It took place at Sandy Hook, which is why I do not believe for one moment, and I stand with Alex Jones on this one. I do not believe for one moment that one single child died at Sandy Hook. In fact, not only do I believe it, but I can prove it. Okay.
Oh, weren't some of the children that were supposedly deceased seen in photos with Barack Obama?
Thank you. Thank you.
They're supposedly dead, but there they are.
but they're taking pictures. Wait. So, and I talked about this before. We have to double back to something that we talked about on a previous episode. I'm glad you mentioned it. Yeah. So understand this. It's important that you understand that what Big Cal is talking about is not fantasy. It's real. And it wasn't Photoshop. It wasn't AI generated. This is real shit, okay? I spoke the other day, we talked about the Challenger disaster and how no one on the Challenger died, and how not only are they still in public, but they're using their real names. They're using their real names, and we're going to talk about it next week as part of the crisis actors. I have a video of a crisis actor at Sandy Hook talking about how his daughter was murdered. Okay. You would think, oh, the poor guy, poor guy. Here's how the guy starts out. Oh, yeah. Okay, we're ready for you. 3, 2. Oh, I lost my daughter. Oh. That okay? You want to talk about acting? Cal, I want you to look at this. When I show you this, it's a master class in acting. A master class. Watch that next week. So that's what we got coming up next week. We are going to talk about crisis actors and AI as controlled intelligence. What does that mean? That one we're going to do the deep dive on. That one might be a little longer show, folks, than our usual hour. And we are right at the end of our hour. So, wow. Cal, I think, you know what, my friend? I think we did good tonight. What do you say?
I think it was a great show. It was a fun one.
It sure was. Even though we had a schmuck that turned out to be a dick, this still was a good show. Well, listen, folks, I want to say thank you to everybody that joined us. I don't even want to say thank you to Axis for making my night. Well, why? Because you got me fired up, you prick. And I hope you're still watching. And come back again so I could ban you again for your fucking big mouth. He's probably from somewhere in the Middle East or some crazy.
Or place. Probably from Portland or
Portland. Or Minneapolis. Anyway, for Big Cal, I am the Mad Dog. Do yourself a favor, smile, be kind to one another, folks. Until we see you again, I want you to be well, be happy, be nice. Like I keep telling people, it takes more muscles to frown than it does to smile. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise. We will see you again next Monday, and Cal will be here, and the Mad Dog will be here. Right, Lord? Thank you. And we will we'll see where it goes. And so, with that said, we're going to say goodnight to you. Take care, you guys, and happy Tuesday. Bye-bye. Whoop.